Seen troops amassing at every border crossing.
Well, no surprises there. It was the same after Drake's breath.
It's good to have you back. I was worried.
I heard what you told Nan about Kupka. Hopefully all our old friends can rest easy now.
You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one of these two lucky souls is going with you?
Gav, you're with me.
All right then. So, where do we find this Stardust stuff?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Dalamil. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back to.
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of this stuff from Blackthorn's supply. Take care.
You two, eh? Don't go letting him fleece ya.
Fleece me? I like to see him try.
In your own time.
Sounds like this river we're looking for is south of the Dalamil Inn. I'll hire us a wagon and meet you there.
I'll get us a good price. It's that one you want to worry about.
Eesh. 今天继续解。你有话说吗？
I hear you've been busy. That was your doing, was it not? As for me...
I know what it is to live without crystals, without wealth. It was not an easy life, but I survived it.
My ears are always
says Drake's fang has fallen. Does that mean the furnace is going to stop working?
Maybe. So shut your trap and get that order forged while you still can.
Looks like I found the river. Now where's Gav?
家不。
Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this Stardust. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of this stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall.
挖土，开始挖土。
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me. That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
Yahoo!
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough. I hope.
Oh, you win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind if we have a chat? Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you.
"深情款款地看着彼此，哪里不太对劲？
Right. That's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
You go on ahead. And try to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to, after Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
Right. Ready to go home, boy? Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs. Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the Stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. You know, it beats sneaking around on your Todd all the time.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It'll take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Letting of Steam 23万，不高。415的吗？
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
What do you need? So, what'll it be? And how am I meant to do that then? Anything else?
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in. Why would anyone want to do that?
If I don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Oh, Sid, is...
Yes.
I'll show you the plans. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why, if sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be
I see. Would that help?
Oh, I'll gather my team and head there right away.
这段是帮你的盖引擎，比较闲散、轻松的段落，没那么苦大仇深的。
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
Rain 开始备战。
If you're ready, we leave at once.
Good girl.
Faster.
47等，我还看不上。开的开，等到你们有60等以上再来找我，不然那个经验值太少了。
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creek.
Of course. Anybody home?
诶，左边有个宝箱诶。啊，你呀。
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Help me, boy.
You lose.
The things I do for you.
Sid!
You shouldn't have any trouble.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll,
All right.
等一下，这个旁边有一个宝箱，发现在我的眼角闪过去。画面角落闪过去。哪里哪里哪里？这附近有一个宝箱。哎，这里这里。为什么？还好。这里没事。
Your work is done, Sid. We'll take it.
We're seeing troops amassing at every border crossing.
How may I help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised all yours? All done?
Hey, hey, hey.
When it comes to boyish charm, Goops has an indomitable rival in Gav. One is the sweet little babe in arms to be cooed over. The other, the naughty little boy who'd pull on my pigtails.
I think Mid might need some help signing
If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
坚固又不会太重的金属。
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
我们克莱夫心情好，是走路刚跳的。
What do I have to eat to grow as tall as you, Mr. Stelz? Thanks to Sid, the man who...
Harpocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive? Always.
Well, actually, it's for Mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine? Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelisk complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection it requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelisk might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company, too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
带谁出去买东西
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. I could have done with some of that on Drustinus.
I doubt I would have survived that place with or without it. A trip to Northreach, though, I think either of us could handle.
带谁出去玩呢？
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
我常常跟老婆出门呢。换医生好了。
All right. So, what are we fetching?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list.
Garlic? Are you sure this is the right list? Looks like the ingredients for someone's supper.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited, effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Well, isn't that convenient? I was hoping to be able to make a trip over that way sometime soon. Need to speak to an old acquaintance. I'll meet you there.
All right.
I'll see you later, Clive.
Good luck with your research.
跟医生出去溜达，放老婆在家里，跟医生出去溜达。
Now, where's Taya?
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled. I won't have you spoiling another catch.
Welcome, welcome. I do like a customer who knows what he wants. I'll be here if you need me.
There you are, Talia.
Ah, and there you are. We shouldn't have any problems finding what we need in a place like this. But if time is of the essence, perhaps we should split up. Take a few items each.
All right. What shall I look for?
Let's see now. Why don't you take the garlic and the pepio nuts? Meet me by the gate when you've got them.
Buy, sell, or be gone. Go on, take it.
How the hell is anyone supposed to afford that price?
Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine. You're always welcome here in Lost Wing.
Hopefully Talia's finished too.
Well, did you find everything?
Yes.
I did. Here.
Garlic. Pepio nuts.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Job done. We should get this back to Tomes then. He'll be waiting. But we're not in too much of a rush, are we? Quick chat. Do you know, I think this is the very first time we've been out on an errand together.
I think you might be right.
In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame.
Well, it seemed long overdue. And you did say you had some shopping to do.
I was hoping to restock my supplies of herbs and liniment, yes. You and Jill alone burned through them like wildfire. No luck, though. My usual supplier's not here, and I refuse to pay the prices these gougers charge.
I'll ask Karen when we get back. What is it?
Oh, just memories. I came here with Sid once, shopping for supplies, just like today. And just like today, I came away empty-handed. Sid even said he'd speak to Karen for me when we got back. Has it really been 5 years? I remember it as if it was yesterday. Hold on. Does that mean it's been 5 years since we met? Feels a lot longer.
It does. In a good way, of course. Thank you, Taya.
For what?
For everything. I just want you to know that all you've done for us, all you still do, it's appreciated.
Do you think I'd stick around if I thought it wasn't? But in the spirit of sharing and caring, you're appreciated too, by all of us. Well, I think we've tarried long enough. I ought to get these ingredients back to Tomes so he can make up this concoction of his. I'll meet you back at the hideaway, all right?
All right. And thanks again.
I heard you the first time.
回去。
I wonder how Hippocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
Oh, her ship lies still in harbor, her soul sails on the main. The breath of age is at her back, adventure in her veins. Oh, her ship lies still in harbor, her soul sails on the main. The breath of age is at her back, adventure in her veins.
Ugh, I'm never drinking again, no matter whose funeral it is.
Better late than never.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Hippocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Taya how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
Oh, and Clive. It was good to talk. We should do it again sometime.
A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one, followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Abba. Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
Thanks to Sid, the man.
I went up to give some greens to the chocobo.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat, a coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way.
Oh, and bring me the biggest salmon you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
不久之后。
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown, searching for a land untouched by the Blight, just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Hmm? 有新任务。
Thing Tomes helped to build. He said it was some sort of chimney stack.
Must be quite a fireplace.
He cracked the crystal too.
什么任务？哎呦，蹦出一堆。
Trouble with the ledgers.
A bad feeling.
What could be wrong with Torgor?
bone to pick. 骨头，挑骨头。About Blackthorn， 又来。
Hopefully it's nothing.
Blacksmith's blues.
I got your note. You think something's wrong with Torgal?
So you can read. But I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He's not been eating me treats. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at him. Didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
Lawsman, I need to ask you about Torgal. Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite, which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
Torgal 需要更大的骨头。现在骨头他咬不爽了，咬不满足了，他需要更多、更大的骨头。
Yeah, what you told Nan about Kupka.
Blackthorn.
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. And you might still be doubting your craft. Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, he's got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well, Karen showed me something. Something I've never seen before.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me. The edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you?
Nah. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting. can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, but I can't say I'm not grateful for it.
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows.
那是武士刀啦。
You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want?
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single-edged and extremely sharp.
Running around after him again, are you?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving him to distraction.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collections. Which made it nice and easy finding a buyer.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Delmechian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh, and he's a touch eccentric, if you take my meaning.
I appreciate the warning.
I went up to give some greens to the chocolate.
这个好像是扩大什么东西。
Well, here, Sid. Reckon you might be just the man to help me out of a bit of bother.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's about this alembic the chief's got me making. Lovely bit of kit, it is. Bunging a solution you want splitting. The problem is, it won't always get rid of all the impurities. And with some of the stuff we need it for, that ain't good enough. Which is why I've been looking for something to filter the liquid we'll be cooking off. And that's where I was hoping...
I imagine Ty could get some use out of this alembic too. Distilling medicines and the like. All right. Why not?
Proper...
So what exactly do you need for this filter?
Nothing but bomb ash'll do, says the chief. Gave me a sample she'd obtained for you pour the black. So, I did a bit of reading about where I might be able to get. And do you know what I found out? It's only the blimmin' bones of a bomb king. They leave them behind when they die, see?
I take it that's where I come in.
I saw a billet on the hunt board for one, just yet would have gone myself, but...
All right.
Thank you kindly. And
有一个讨伐怪要打那个炸弹王。
Think Mid might need some help.
Clive, did you get my...
That's why I'm here.
Shh. I don't want to be...
Is this better?
A little. Listen, I've some bad news. It turns out the hideaway may be slightly behind in its payment to certain lenders, and it's maybe my fault. but I swear to the goddess, I thought I had the numbers square. Sadly, that square turned out to be more of a circle. 0, you might say. I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time, and I'm gonna need help keeping it from Otto.
Bit late for that, I'd say.
There you are! What a surprise!
So let me get this straight. You forget to pay our lenders what they're due, and instead of coming straight to me, you get Clive to come to you. And I hope he'll dig you out of the hole you've dug for yourself. Clive, the man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Why? Well, who needs paying?
Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well, Lady Karen. But only 500 talents.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million gil.
Each. 5 million each. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of oversight.
Those ledgers were my responsibility, and it was my decision to entrust them to you. This is my fault.
Do we have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rossfield's purse enough. After the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we're gonna make this work.
All right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the burden yourself. Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000 talents apiece, these are. A little something Sid and I set aside for when times got lean. And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more discerning than yours.
I'm sure there will be.
Should be me making the rounds, really. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, arses to wipe, and all that.
I know. Which is why I don't mind going in your place.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies?
Because you'd rather Lady Karen killed me.
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you. Yes.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really? Do you think so?
No, I don't.
我把2颗红宝石交给克莱夫去结账，剩下1颗给你，你知道为什么吗？因为我要让卡伦杀了你。告冈特说 ，So this is goodbye， 好吧，我们要永别了。后来不安慰他，然后卡伦小姐会明白的，她会理解你的，真的吗？不，假的，蛮好笑的。因为我想要让卡伦杀了你。The island west of storms?
You mean the Iron Kingdom?
Sweetie. 陈哥。
You mean the Iron King?
Quench. Sandbreak 散布雷克的 Croc 散布雷克，有好几个要解决的。就是这样。先解哪一个啊？哎，这里有一个赞布雷克的 Crack 哪里？The Croc. Croc. Where is the Croc? 有差。我其实我像玩到现在，我觉得老实说，英配的好像比较好一点。我自己觉得。然后英配的它有些那个用词语，我觉得比较有深意。这应该是少数我会建议那个可以玩英配的。诶，你的 Croc 在哪里啊？左后。Sunbreak。中配哦，有点难，但它也不是，应该说英文的整个字幕，它的英文的写的台词和对话，我觉得整体比日文还要好。日文版的那个有些用词啊、字句，我觉得少了一点味道。是啊，是日本制没错啊，但是我只能说那个，因为它的英文化是 Koji， 是一个叫 Koji 的人做的，然后 Koji 的英文化每次都做得很好，我甚至觉得它有一些深一层的意义，还有一些那个背后的一些意境，反而是英文版传达的比日文版还好。奇怪的 Crocs 啊，在这儿，这里。它有些意境真的，我觉得英文版传达比较好。20英文很失败。应该一直都是 Koji 做的，14的本地化应该都是他做的，如果我没记错的话，应该都是他做的。还是那时候应该是他吧，我不太确定他那时候是不是，他那时候应该就 Cozy 那个时候就在了。Cozy 那时候就在了。啊，找到了，快！哦，对啊，因为他的那个不是他比较差，是因为他真的用词就用的比较晦涩，是没错的。他就算到了后面几个阶段也还是这样啊。他到后面几个版本一直都是比较晦涩的。不过确实，那个3.0之后，它整个配音换过一轮了。然后，如果我记得没错的话，2.0的时候它是比较美式的，偏向美式的英文；到3.0之后，它改成比较英式英文。不过因为14我基本上我没有在玩英文版，所以我有看过一些其他外国实况主玩14的，其实还 OK， 我自己觉得。但是我14我大概觉得是还 OK 的程度，但是16的英文化我自己觉得甚至比日文版还好。
Greetings, Your Majesty.
Greetings, Your Majesty. 因为这个是炸弹王。对啊，这叫做炸弹王。但是你看刚才克莱夫一开始接到他的时候，他说：“你好，那个就是 Nice to see Your Majesty。”这就是很，哎呦，哎呦，很英文化的。你好，我是。但是我记得我在玩日文版的时候却没有这个。
This one.
Hey, 按错了。
Help me, boy. Too slow.
还2下。但是我
Fine how to me, boy. Help me, boy. Garuda!
哎，最后是被狗狗给打死了。我一开始前期的时候觉得，哎，英文版好像也不错哦。然后那个，而且因为他的嘴型是对英文，就觉得还不错。然后我记得我觉得就是我开始觉得英文版比较好的时候是打到前中期，中期的时候。然后有一个比较应该是算是比较经典的例子嘛，就是蛮明显的例子是那个约书亚第一次跑出来，然后那个阻止奥特曼的时候，然后他不是放了4颗火球出去，在日文版里面他那边喊的是火1、火2、火3、火4，然后在英文版里面他把它改成是就是You will leave my brother alone。他从 Fire 1 Fire 就是从那个火1、火2、火3、火4变成是
Now to collect the ash. I should probably have brought a bucket.
brought a bucket. 变成是你不许就我哥出手的。
This looks like the stuff.
那个意境就差很多。
Let's see if there's any more.
那个蛮明显的。
That should do it. If the wine needs more than this, he can fetch it himself.
对啊，我一直想为什么他日文，我也不晓得为什么他日文那边是发呀、发啦、发嘎、发甲，这完全意境很不一样啊。英文版就是你不许就是 You shall leave my brother alone。结果日文版突然那个差太多了吧。我也不知道为什么。然后还有一些其他的，像是那个黑骑士出来的时候，因为罗扎利亚公国他们的骑士团叫 Shield， 然后骑士团 Shield 都有一个誓词，然后黑骑士团就是杀很多人的那个黑骑士团出来的时候，他也讲了一段誓词，然后那个克莱夫就很生气。没有，我觉得就是整体来说，我觉得 Cozy 在传达意境上，甚至可能比前广还好。他们应该都是专门没有。老实说 ，Cozy 可能比前广要负责时事的东西更多。我讲呢，我说黑骑士出来的时候，他还念了一段罗扎利亚公国的骑士团的誓词，然后克莱夫听了就很生气，就是一副就是他的意思上面就是说你做这堆肮脏事，你还敢给我讲这个誓词，你就很生气，因为意境才有出来啊。日文版的时候我就没有感觉到这个。
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion?
Star Ruby.
Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the hideaway's debt with the Veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that.
而且有一些英文版会有冷笑话，英文版会有一些冷笑话，反而是日文版没有的。有一些谐音笑话在英文版才听得懂。日文版就少了一点那个幽默诙谐的感觉，英文版比较有一些幽默诙谐。日文版就很郑重其事，很正常。我印象很深刻，英文版有一个，就是之前在前期的时候，在看不同的笑话。对啊。
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Kara's collector.
我印象有一个很深刻的是在前期的。刚开始前期的那个基地里面，第一次我去的时候，然后就旁边有一个路人的聊天，路人聊天聊到就说：“你觉得泰坦的大便是不是石头啊？”
The Zendrake's fang is gone. The whole mother crystal gone. What are we gonna do? Calm yourself. We don't know for sure. It could have just been a tremor.
泰坦是不是大石头啊？那边聊这种事情，我没看懂过，我没有注意耶。这里
My reputation will be ruined! Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen? Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went?
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalamal is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Wow, 要去打小偷。还有很多英文版的小的冷笑话，因为我觉得英文版的玩起来比较有趣味一点。
Fly Ambrosia。
他有些时候打那个讨伐怪的时候，也会讲一些小的冷笑话。就觉得比较有人情味，有趣一点。
That's better.
67等，练一下。
Thanks, girl.
哎，你过来一点，过来一点。哦，过来一点。啊，没错。
Titan.
因为有一些东西，我发现英文版讲起来反而比较顺，甚至是剧情衔接上也比较顺。
We've got company. Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off. Soil and stone.
欧啦！对啊，日本人学英文的次真的比较少。 他英文在日本这边没有那么复杂。如果只玩日文版的人，应该就是真的就是不会感觉到翻译上面有任何差异。还没有上到日本学英文是真的不太多，他们很多人都不太会讲，不太敢讲。
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Delamel.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself, and a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector of curiosities. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard at my heels.
Are there many other collectors out there?
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron Rosfield, and is a perennial thorn in my side.
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern. May our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Coming, my lordship.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
嗯，把这两个解了。
Sorry for the wait, but hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword, then?
I did better than that.
磨刀石。
A whetstone?
Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the curse breakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valisthean steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be... Just... don't push yourself too hard.
Don't you worry about me, sunshine. I've been working day and night since I was half your age, and I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, thanks, Clive. I mean it. I owe you one, August too. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the materials.
All right?
Elixir. Elixir. Excalibur. Excalibur. 我可以做 Excalibur 了。Excalibur 要什么材料？我看。Excalibur。我可以直接做 Excalibur。
No scratches, all right? And?
我有 Excalibur 了。
right, there's. How's that hunt for the bomb ash go?
I have it here.
Bomb ash.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it, too. Enough to keep the Olympic bubbling away for a good old while. You're a gent, Sid. Let nothing say otherwise. Right then. Let's get this contraption up and running. Here we... The Telemon Alembic. And it works just like the chief said it.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which, I still haven't returned the favor.
There's no need.
Don't be Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I could work some magic on that.
What kind of magic?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic that I reckon will make even the toughest lever supple as anything. Thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Save the hideaway a few gil. Ah, I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough for you to squeeze in a bottle or two more.
Well, it can't hurt to try, I suppose.
That's the spirit. Well?
It certainly feels...
Right?
Thank you.
No. For supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. And I'm telling you, there's plenty more where that came from.
And 后是这儿，等一下，这里啊。我去打羚羊，给我家狗狗沾点吃的。
Let's go.
最多54个。干嘛的？我路过啦，卖个生气。
Well, it's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope,
干嘛？
see my just nice.
大角羚羊。 去3年。
I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal?
啊，按错了。
You're a fine hound.
厉害。
Now,
你喜欢这骨头吗？
will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question, which means we owe the lawsman our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy.
大狗狗。
You do know you can take that with you, Toggle. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again?
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do. Goat will want to know the stones were delivered, if he's still with us.
If 如果冈特还没死的话，还没被杀的话。 现在把狗狗这个解决了。
I noticed you and Toggle had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you?
You could say that.
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
大角鹿的骨头。
You can, eh? Oh, nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him.
Bloody oh no！ 什么都知道。
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And Torgal's been a very happy hound ever since.
Very good, very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving the mystery.
Ah. But that reminds me. After your last visit, I found myself pondering Torgal's talents. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
About how she somehow woke the power within him.
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. But one which raised certain questions in my mind. You see, the Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone. And while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described Torgal as having used.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty. And that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh, he's more than an ally. He's a friend.
The bone to pick.
Is it business or pleasure? All then.
Clive? What do you want? Yeah, that should do you. Not my best work, but it'll do. You can thank me later. Yeah, that should do you. You can thank me later. Anything else?
Ned told me she was building a ship.
Really? That's a ship? Let's sail it around the lake.
And 存个档，来解这个。
Good. Still alive, I see. So Lady Karen accepted the ruby.
Ah, about that. I tried my best, but she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Oh, wonderful. I hope you have better luck than I did.
Star Ruby.
Is that the thing Tomes helped to build?
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you lot me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the Hideaway's coffers, but those were donations, and you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it back.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. And our circumstances have changed. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, are you? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as much. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I'd pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month's wages.
Oh, so you remember what's owed to you then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are square.
Right away.
I've seen that before.
You have, yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
Huh. I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he...
Before he died. 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to, I forget where. And having nothing better to do on the long nights, we sat up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him, forget what I felt, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. threw away everything he had, all to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth. He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. I love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather goat were at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
你得了9杯 payback。小小的回忆任务。
help you today, Clive? Your benefactors are a generous lot. You earned this. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Yeah.
Ned told me she was building a ship.
回忆任务。啊，然后你刚好看到这一段吗？
He cracked the crystal too.
西德。西德的酒杯。然后我们要去给西德扫墓，你刚好赶上扫西德的墓。啊，去给西德扫墓了。
All right, Clive. Asterix. Mid finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that? In those words?
She did, yes.
Clive? Were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
米德早跑了。
Is that the thing Tomes helped?
Obelus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat, going that way.
Then I'm too late.
You in a hurry at all, are you? I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was on my way up to see you, as it happens. Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obelus.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, Uncle?
My dear boy, my journey to Cambar has been a resounding success. The friend I mentioned not only agreed to share the contents of his strongbox with us, but his considerable knowledge of the ongoing in the free cities, by which I learned of the endeavors of a certain young friend of yours. Though I, for one, believe Miss Telemon's project to be quite the valiant enterprise, I doubt the Canvarian authorized will take kindly to the unauthorized use of their dockyards, no matter how deserted. And if rumor has already reached my friend, it may not be long before the guild masters are rapping at our doors. Which is why I penned you this note. I would like to borrow your man Gav for a moon or two. that he might keep a watch on those who might mean our little fellowship ill, and warn us of any impending attack. I trust that you will give this proposal your full consideration. And
Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
派人过去当坎贝尔当眼线。
So
Yeah,
what?
but you'll see.
Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset.
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Gotta admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
吉尔不会绕跑的，他不会跟米德一样绕跑。The Hideaway, Sid's Legacy， 喜德的坟墓。
Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. That if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Kuka is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there will be no escaping sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you. But we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh, thanks, Nan.
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot. There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav?
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
We need to find a way into Drake's tail.
I've got a few more things to pack before I leave. I'll meet yous down in Bocklad.
Well, don't just stand there, go wash yourself out there.
What do you need? Back to work.
Onward， 前进。
How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. Didn't you, boy?
This used to be a trade route for merchants crossing the Scars, till the Republic laid a new road wide enough to let wagons pass, and all official traffic moved there.
Leaving this one for those living outside the law.
Indeed. I doubt we'll be the only outlaws on the trail today.
Very well.
我有点好奇前面那个支线啊，如果我先往前走，打那个怪，然后再回头给支线会怎么样？我这边我先不理他们，怎么样？我存档看一下。
So what do you think? Really? It's as bad as that?
Oh, aye. There's trouble up ahead. And too much of it for us to handle.
I take it there's danger on the road.
Oh, what about this fearsome-looking fellow? You think he'd be equal to the task?
Oh, no doubt. Assuming he's willing to hear us out. Well met, friend. My brother and I have been tasked with finding a merchant's missing cart. You seen it by any chance?
How does a merchant misplace his cart?
Oh, the man's a coward. When he thought goblins might come a-snarling, he ran, leaving his livelihood abandoned in the pass.
He sent the two of us to fetch it, but it's gone. Now, I'm not much of a thinker, but I know the work of thieves when I see it.
My brother's right on all accounts. And by my estimation, the bastards are lying in wait just down the road.
We may have seen our share of action, true, but we've not got the skill in arms to boldly brave an ambush.
You, however, have the look of a man who needn't fear a band of backwater ruffians. What do you say? Will you help us out? Chances are they'll come for you either way. But if you promise to lend us a hand, at least you'll pocket a reward for your troubles. Not exactly savvy, are you? Fine. Go on. Bugger off then.
如果我这边没有其他的任务，直接往前打，不知道怎么样。
How nice. They have a hideaway of their own.
Over here! Attack!
We've done the Republic a service.
So what do you think?
That we'd be lucky to make it out alive.
Really?
Oh, what?
I take it there's... Oh, what about the...
Oh, no. Well met, friend.
How does a...
Oh, the man.
He said...
My brother.
We may have...
You? Chances are they'll come for you either way.
Well, if I'm going to have to deal with them anyway.
You've clearly got a fine head on those.
We're lucky you can now. Hoping to make a heavy purse in Boklad, our merchant friend loaded his cart with as much as it would carry. Reckon he won't be forking over the rest of our fee if we don't find those goods.
All right.
No, you just put an end to those bandits and...
I'm not sure I trust those two. But if there are bandits lying in wait, I should probably take care of them. Getting all of this out of here will be a nightmare.
Seems we've found ourselves the right man for the job.
Found the cart and didn't leave a single bastard breathing. Our merchant friend will be delighted.
And how exactly will he be getting his goods out of here?
You leave that to us. After all, it'd be wrong to make such a fine warrior haul cabbages to market.
You've done your part. And that's all you need. It's been a pleasure.
There's no need to be so rude, brother. What if we want his help again next time?
You've had your reward and you're not getting any more. Now piss off.
我觉得时间差不多，我该休息了。先回基地，存个档。啊，还是存个档。
Is it business or pleasure? It'd better all be here. Is that all?
好，存档休息。明天是礼拜二，对，明天礼拜二，所以明天去打14，打一些每日什么的。哎呀，拜拜啦，明天见。